lot of questions on Twitter like, would you be friends with your mom if she wasn't your mom? And people most of the time say no. But I never see questions being like, would you be friends with your kids if they weren't your kids? Hi guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for being here. So today I want to talk about something that is quite taboo, something that is not spoken about every day. I personally have never heard anyone speak about it up until I started doing research about it. And the research I'm doing, obviously it's online, so it's no one that I know personally, but once I started doing research about it, it's something I realized that a lot of mothers go through. You know, a lot of mothers go through this and a lot of mothers feel this, but a lot of mothers have shame in admitting it. And I'm here to share my version, or I'm here to share my story with you guys. Hopefully, hoping it makes you feel lighter, makes you feel better. You know, I'm always here to tackle these taboo type topics to make us realize that we are human. And it's okay to go through whatever it is that you are feeling and going through. What I want to address is raising kids that you sometimes don't like. And I want you to get this straight. Get me straight, guys. I'm not talking about loving your children. You love your children. I love my children to death. I would die for my children. And if anyone came for my children, they would die. But you don't always like them. The same way you don't always like your partner. You love your partner, but you don't always like them. The same way you don't always like your mother. You love your mother, but you don't always like them. We hear a lot about that. Like, oh, my partner irritates me. Oh, I don't like my partner today. Or, oh, my mom, I don't like my mom today. But we never really hear about, oh, I don't like my kid today. I've seen a lot of questions on Twitter like, would you be friends with your mom if she wasn't your mom? And people most of the time say no. But I never see questions being like, would you be friends with your kids if they weren't your kids? Not liking your kids. It has taken me a very, very, very long time to get to a point where I actually felt okay with admitting that or saying it out loud, let alone taking this video and putting it on camera for you guys to see and judge and comment on, you know. And what makes me feel comfortable in talking about that is because I once did a video, actually not even, most of my videos call for judgment. Most of my videos, they call for a lot of judgment. But I never get that from you guys. I honestly, you have been the most supportive people to me, and it makes me want to speak more about things that bother me or things that I go through because of what is it? The non-judgmental characters, the non-judgment you guys give me. And today is one of the videos where, trust me, I know the minute I put it out there, I know I will be judged a lot. But after, as I said, after doing a lot of research, I do know that I'm not the only person who feels this way, you know, as it has taken me a very, very long time to be able to even admit that to myself, and let alone say it out loud and take a video to put out there to you guys. But it's something that I go through. I don't always like my kids. No, I don't always like my kids. You guys know, like, if you're a mother, you know that parenting is not always graceful. Being a mother, it's not always roses and cream. It's not always sunshines and roses and flowers. It's not. 90% of the time it is, really is. Like, you look at your children and you'll be like, damn, like, you mean, hello, I made you, like, this is me. And you look at your kids and you're so proud of them, and you're so proud of the people they're becoming, and the little milestones, you're just proud, and you just want to cry all the time. But there's also that little 10% where they just do things that get to you, things where you're just like, why are you doing that? Like, that 10% is the 10% I want to talk about today. I have a teenager, a preteen, but Jesus, the way she's behaving, it's like she's already 16. I have a teenager and I have a toddler. Worst stages of my children's life, of any child's life, basically. They're both trying to figure themselves out. They're both trying to figure out their feelings, their emotions, and they're both just trying to figure out a lot. And in that comes a lot of attitude, comes a lot of know-it-all, especially obviously for the preteen. Comes a lot of I know it all. There comes a lot, so there are a lot of times where I get so irritated and I get, like a snap, but then I have to remember that I was once a teenager. Even though that my teenage years were a bit different, because the things that she does and says to me are things that I would have never said to my mom. Obviously, because we grew up, you guys, we're a generation that grew up scared of our parents. And I'm making sure that my kids do not grow up to be scared of me. I want my kids to know that you can come talk to me. If you feel some type of way about me or anything, you can come talk to me. But at the same time, a teenager will be a teenager. So no matter how open you are in your parenting, no matter what kind of parenting you do, your teenager will always be a teenager. So I'm going through that, and there are times where I'm just like, girl, I don't like you today. I don't like you very much. Even with my toddler, like, why are you doing that? I don't like you today. Like, you're irritating me. Like, just get away from me, like, just a little bit. Like, give me an hour, And luckily, I'm in a space where I have people around me, so I can say to my toddler, give me an hour, and someone's going to take her, and she does give me an hour. But I cannot imagine if I didn't have anyone who would take her, if I say that, give me an hour. I just can't imagine. It's that. And for the longest time, I've struggled with it, obviously, because you don't understand now your own feelings. What's going on? Why don't I like this child? And for the longest time, I thought I didn't like my child, up until I realized that it's not the child that you don't like, it's the behavior, and the minute I realized that it's not the child that I dislike, but it's the behavior, then I started seeing and doing things differently. I started noticing that, it's not that I don't like my teenager, I just don't like it when she rolls her eyes. But when she rolls her eyes when I'm talking to her, to me, it feels like, girl, what are you doing? But then when I sit and think, okay, it's not her that I don't like, it's the mumbling under the breath that I don't like. You guys know teenagers. You've been a teenager. We all have done it. Just don't tell my teenager, because she's going to be like, oh, but you've done it, so why are you coming at me about me? Because she likes throwing that. I think the downside of being open with your children is that sometimes they use what you tell them against you. Because I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, I was telling you this because we were bonding, and now you're like, oh, but you were a wild teenager too. What do you mean? That's another topic for another day. But back to the serious stuff. Not liking your children. It's normal. And it's stuff that a lot of us go through, but maybe we just don't know that we're going through, and we don't know how to put it in words, and we don't know how to articulate ourselves without feeling like we're going to be judged for it and we're going to be shamed for it. Because trust me, as a mom, you literally get shamed for everything. You breathe differently, you get shamed for it. You move differently, you're going to get shamed for it. So I know that as moms, we are always shamed for a lot of things. So I understand that there will be things that you're probably just suppressed because you think that, oh, there's another thing I'm going to be shamed for, so I'm not going to talk about it. And that has been me. That's been me for the longest time. I think there are still also other things that I feel like, let me just not even talk about it, because I know the shame that comes with this particular topic. As a mom, you get shamed a lot. Obviously, we've covered that, but I wanted to do this video to tell you guys that if you are feeling this way, you're not the only one. I've felt this way for a while, and I just didn't know what exactly it is what I was feeling. I want to share what I do whenever I feel this way, because you will feel this way, and it's not just a once-off feeling, and it's a feeling that lingers. It's probably going to be there for the rest of your lives. It's normal, and I feel like it's normal. We don't get told this enough. It's normal. As I mentioned, the same way you have days where you don't like your partner, the same way you have days where you don't like your siblings, the same way you have days where you don't like your mother, it's the same. That's the same going to happen. It's the same way you're going to have days where you don't like your kids. It's natural, It's just that as moms, you're expected to be on 100 all the time. As a mom, you're expected to just be like happy about your children and happy about your environment. You're just expected to be happy about a lot of things, and it's not realistic. A lot of people have room to make mistakes, and a lot of people have room to talk about, oh, this irritated me and this irritated me, but unfortunately mothers don't. But this is a safe space. You guys know that if you are feeling the same way that I do, it's a safe space. And if you are feeling the same way that I do, and you do have those kind of feelings, I'm going to share things that have worked for me. Whenever I feel that way, I just give myself space to woosah. I just give myself space to breathe, and give yourself space to remind yourself that you are human, and what you are feeling is okay. Do not shame yourself, number one. Number two, write 3 to 5 things that you actually do like about your children. Maybe 5 is a lot, but let's try 3. Because I can imagine when you're feeling like that, you're just irritated and you don't want someone telling you, oh, just mention 5 things you like about your kids. I can't think of 5. 5 is a big number. Let's try 3, maybe 2, even 1. Just think about something that you like about your child. Trust me, they're going to come. A lot of things are going to come, and you're going to end up with a smile on your face, and you're going to end up wanting to go give your baby a hug because you're just like, oh man, you're tired, I love you, and I just don't like what you did, I don't like what you said, but I actually love you. Like, writing what you like about your child is going to make you actually fall in love with them even more. So that has helped me a lot. Whenever I feel like I want to strangle someone, or whenever I feel like, oh, you're doing that thing again, like I don't like you right now, I remember that, okay, let me just go write down what I actually do like about you. And another thing that's important to remember is that it's not the child that you don't like. It is their behavior or whatever it is that they're doing at that moment that brought up those feelings for you. So the minute you tell yourself that, oh man, it's not my child that I don't like, it's just what they did, you will feel better. Trust me, you will feel better. And also, guys, as much as you will feel like, I don't like my child right now, or I don't like my child today, or I don't like my child this week, it's important to not say that to your child. They don't need to know that. You can know it, but they don't need to know that you don't like them. And that's why for me, I just come up with things that I will do on my side to remind myself of actually how much I love them, and to calm myself down. At the end of the day, you are the adult, so you have to control your emotions more than anyone else in the space. Between you and your child, you are the adult, and you need to control your emotions, and your child does not need to feel or hear that they are not liked. So whatever it is that you do, it's very important to make sure that your child do not know that. Your children, they don't hear that. Maybe it might be different for me because I'm saying it on a YouTube channel, and I know my child don't really watches this channel, but if she does, honey, I love you. I love you, okay? She does sometimes. Mama needs a space. What has worked and what is important is, I said earlier, it's just that having time to yourself. The more time you have for yourself and doing things that you love, whether it's running around the block, or whether it's going for a spa, or whether it's taking yourself out for lunch, when you do things that you like, you do tend to relax and you calm down, and you don't feel the burden of motherhood as much. I've realized that when you do take time for yourself and you do things for yourself, you do tend to calm down and relax a bit, and little things that they do won't probably affect you as much. When your teen rolls her eyes at you after you had a massage, you probably just like, go by. When your toddler starts throwing tantrums after you come back from your long run or walk, you're just gonna be like, girl, dust. So that has helped me, greatly helped me in basically just coming back to myself and remembering that, you know what, when I do things for myself, they don't affect me as much. I do things that way. I do think that when you are stressed out, obviously the little things are gonna get you to a point where everything seems like an issue. And it's not that deep and it's not that serious. But sometimes it is, and when it is, obviously you do need to seek professional help. If the feeling of not liking your kids lingers a lot, maybe then it's deeper than just the little things that I've mentioned. So maybe then do seek therapy if you can afford it, or do talk to someone that you trust. That's the end of my video. If you relate, hopefully you don't, but if you do, please feel free to comment below. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos. I do appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.